The game ends Manchester City 3, Liverpool 0, and I think that puts an end of title chances for Liverpool. But Manchester City, could they close the gap on Arsenal? You can never rule City out a title race. We know what Pep Guardiola is capable of. And generally, my overview of the game was City were the better team. City were dominant of Liverpool in many aspects of that game. But I have to say, like, Liverpool actually had two big chances compared to City's one. Gakpo should have scored, Salah should have scored. Had Liverpool made it 2-1 before City made it 3-0, could it have been a different game? Maybe. I think that Doku goal just sealed the win for City, who deserved the win, who were by far the better team. But Liverpool did have opportunities to score a couple goals in that game. And look, City were more clinical at the other end. And I felt one thing about City, and I don't say this often when teams play Liverpool, but City dominated that midfield. Liverpool are so used to dominating in the midfield, and it was dominated by City today. City's fullbacks, Nico O'Reilly and Nunes, were absolutely phenomenal. Jeremy Doku was the star of the show. He was absolutely phenomenal. But also Pep Guardiola, I think he completely tactically outsmarted Arne Slot. They came, they looked to target Canate, they looked to press Liverpool, make Liverpool struggle to build out, force Liverpool into defensive mistakes. And Liverpool's lack of depth and Liverpool's lack of, I think, centre-back depth and not signing a centre-back is really being exposed today. So in today's video, we're going to break down what we learned from Manchester City 3, Liverpool 0. We're going to start by talking about Doku, then I want to talk about Liverpool, then I want to talk about Arne Slot, then I want to talk about City. Doku, for me, in the first half, was my first half man of the match, and he hadn't even got a goal or assist at that point. I was just like, he's mint. Do you know what I mean? He'd been phenomenal. Doku was my man of the match before he'd scored. That goal, the little bit of Elastico skill as well, cemented him as man of the match. The 51 touches, 1 goal, 3 shots, 3 out of 3 shots on target. Again, XG quite low, but he scored a phenomenal goal. 3 key passes, 7 out of 8 dribbles, 11 duels won. This is the first time since, I think, 2019, Eden Hazard, that a Premier League player has won more than 10 duels, completed 7 dribbles, and scored a goal in the same game. Like, that is an absolutely nuts statistic when you deep it. Like, he won the goal, he won the penalty, he created 3 chances, he won 7 out of 8 dribbles, he won 11 duels. The first Premier League player since Eden Hazard to win 10 duels, complete 7 dribbles, create 3 chances, and have 3 shots in 1 game since Eden Hazard in 2019. And that was an Eden Hazard-esque performance from Jeremy Doku. He destroyed Liverpool. I think Bradley actually was one of Liverpool's better players, but Bradley could not cope. That was one of the best winger displays I've seen in Premier League history. That Jeremy Doku performance is going to go down as one of the best performances in Premier League history, one of the best individual winger performances in Premier League history, and he's only got 1 goal contribution to show for it. But he was phenomenal. He's now on 5 goals and assists for the season, which is 10 in total. His end product is starting to arrive. Doku, and I actually tweeted that I have stocks in Doku this season because I could see bits of the Club World Cup and I went, there's a good player in Doku. Like, I could see it, but a lot of people were slandering Doku. City fans, rival fans, some City fans even wanted Doku sold. I remember when Doku was linked to, when Savinho was linked to Spurs, some City fans wanted Doku to go to Spurs and was like, Savinho's better than Doku. But I mean, I'm someone that actually always kind of seen it in Doku, but he's proving a lot of people wrong. He was seen as a flop, but as you can see here, this was my list of, it's just got a slight Man United bias, but these are my list of players that I thought were going to have a big season. And I put this out on August 10th, and Doku was in there for City. My main 4 were Minter, Doku, Yoro, and Enyumoa, who hasn't really got the minutes. You know, Dorgu and Enyumoa have kind of been there. But the rest of these guys have had very good seasons. Udogie and Fitz had very good seasons. Minter's been mint. I obviously am someone that's always kind of rated Doku and believed in his potential. I think he's a top-class player, but he's finally getting the plaudits he deserves because Doku's been phenomenal this season, not just today, but all season. I was saying it in my last video on City against Dortmund. Doku was absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. The way he just tears apart teams. And what Pep's done so well, and we have to give Pep Guardiola an immense amount of credit for it, is if you're asking Doku to hold the touchline and stay out wide, that's not his strength. Doku, when he can get the ball and dribble directly, come more inside, is so lethal. Doku, when he's allowed to take the ball on the inside, and what Pep's done is Doku, Cherki, and Foden both operate best on the inside, and Pep's made it work by profiling to have those 3 players on the inside and making it work. And even in the first half, before he scored the goals, most passes into final third 19, which is nuts in a full game, let alone 45 minutes. Most touches in the opposition's box 10, most duels won 8, most take-ons 5, most fouls won 3, most chances created 2. This was way before he even scored. He was causing so many problems. That is a world-class performance from Jeremy Doku, an actual world-class performance. I thought Bernardo Silva was fantastic. I thought Nico O'Reilly was fantastic. Maybe his shooting can improve, but he's a defender. He's young. He can get away with that when he's 3-0 up. I thought Nunes was excellent at right back. He brought energy and control. I thought Bernardo Silva dictated that game like prime Xavi. Gonzalez, you don't even miss Rodri, and the goal was good. Obviously, got a bit of a deflection. I mean, I could say from a Liverpool perspective, okay, maybe a few referee decisions didn't go Liverpool's way. Liverpool missed open goals. City got deflected goals. Another day, Liverpool made that 2-1, and maybe it's a different game. But I do think City were the better team in general. From back to front, I do think City were the better team. I mean, Gonzalez has been phenomenal. Rodri's not even been missed lately. Doku's probably been, arguably, with Semenyo, the best winger in the league this season. You could argue Mbeumo as well. But Liverpool just had one shot on target all game. One shot on target all game. Salah could have done better with his chance. Gakpo would have done better on his chance. But this is Liverpool that spent all that money on Florian Wirtz, Isak and Ekitike. He's going to get on pitch today to have one shot on target all game. And City, Gvardiol's been a bit defensive at the moment. But Nico O'Reilly locked down Salah. Absolutely locked him down. Nunes was phenomenal at right back as well. Donnarumma made a couple of crucial moments, just good runs, good blocks, good stops. But again, both fullbacks getting assists. I feel like the way that Pep has set up his City team to get the best out of his players is nuts. And you have to give Pep so much credit, because Slot is showing how difficult it is to retain a title, and Pep retained the title 4 years in a row. He's constantly adapting his City side. He's constantly looking to get the best out of his players. Bernardo, Foden, Cherki and Gonzalez all in the same midfield. Pep finds a way to make that work and profile them all close together. Foden, as soon as he's now playing centrally, he looks so much better than when he was forced out wide. Haaland missed a penalty but still got his goal. But even without Rodri, this is Man City without Rodri. They're 3 points off Arsenal on top. Man City without Rodri last season collapsed. Man City are playing absolutely fine without Rodri this season because they've had a bit more time under Pep since January, since they spent all that money in January, and he's developing the squad. They haven't even got Aït-Nouri back and firing yet. Cherki obviously didn't have his best game today, but the minute Cherki comes off the pitch, City create less. Cherki and Doku bring so much creativity. They're so key. And this is Pep's 1,000th game as manager, and he celebrates it with a dominant win. No Rodri, no issue. Against Liverpool, 3-0. Could Liverpool have scored? Yes. But I look at Liverpool and I think they look lost. One shot on target. There's a lack of pressing from Liverpool. There's no recognised striker on the pitch that second half. I think Wirtz is struggling physically. I think a lot of the Bundesliga players are struggling physically. Salah looks isolated. He looks like he's lost a yard of pace. And the midfield, who's normally quite good, looks disjointed today. Liverpool have now lost 40% of their games since exiting last season's UCL. Despite sending 320 million attackers, there was no recognised striker on the pitch. Didn't bring Isak on. Why was he on the bench then? The pressing intensity of the team that Klopp built was nuts, and Slot got that last year. But this year, that pressing intensity isn't there. Liverpool created more big chances, but City were ruthless. City had higher XG. City were the better team. City looked like they were going to win the game. There was a point in the second half, and I think Liverpool started the second half quite decently, to be honest. I really do. I think Liverpool had a good start to the second half, and I think had they made it 2-1, it could have been a different game. They had the opportunities to make it 2-1. They just weren't clinical. Obviously, Liverpool, the penalty against them, you can argue, was harsh. The Robertson disallowed goal, you can argue, was harsh. But Liverpool, they're not ruthless like they used to be. They're not putting the ball in the back of the net today. They're very easy to get at defensively. I don't quite know what Liverpool are trying to do when I watch them. And that's something that Arne Slot's got to figure out, because the performance of Liverpool versus Real Madrid was incredible. Liverpool were up for it. They were ready for it. They put in this incredible performance versus Real Madrid. And it was a completely different Liverpool tonight. And I don't know what that is. And that's something that, Slot is going to have to figure out. But Liverpool could have scored 2 or 3 today, but they were bad. They didn't show that fight they showed versus Real Madrid. The main difference for me is Liverpool's pressing last season was a lot better than this season. Liverpool aren't pressing as well this season. They're letting teams pass around them. Konate's being a pressing trigger for other teams. The first line of defence is just quite easy to get by at Liverpool. Defensively, they just don't look stable. And I just look at it and I think Wirtz is going to get all the stick online, but he's just thrown in. He's thrown into the Wolves for him, Wirtz. Because I don't know what Liverpool's plan is. It's just possession and I don't know. To press out of possession, I don't know. Do I think the Liverpool were unlucky with the ref? Yes. But Liverpool didn't turn up from the first minute. Their centre backs got dunked on. Yes, they had a fair goal disallowed. City doubled the league. They missed an open goal, and City scored a third. And maybe Liverpool feel hard done by in that sense. Another day they could get a result out of that game, but it's not good from Liverpool. It's not good. They created more big chances than City as well, and they could not capitalise on that. They could not capitalise on that. And it feels like the league is maybe done and dusted for Liverpool now. City have scored 2 goals from outside the box for the first time in a Premier League game against Liverpool. City have been very clinical. City have been scoring a lot of goals. We've been talking about it. And look, Florian Wirtz is getting a lot of stick. I'm not going to go too much in on him. In terms of people to praise, I thought Donnarumma was good. I thought the fullbacks were good. I thought Nico Gonzalez was good. And of course, I thought that Doku was phenomenal. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.